Mature workers can pick up some new job skills thanks to Operation Able. To tell us about some of the upcoming classes is our guest from Operation Able, the project manager for the Senior Community Service Employment Program, T. Provost. Thank you very much for being with us, T.
Thank you for inviting me.
I said mature workers, so talk about the story here, Operation Able, and what they can do for those workers.
Operation Able. Able means ability based on long experience. And we were started by the president of the Hood Milk Company back 35 years ago, who was forced into retirement and was not ready to retire. So he started Operation Able. We are a state-approved training vendor, and our services are strictly and solely for the mature worker who is looking to get back to work. Anybody 18 and over can come in, but our target population are people 45 and older.
And how affordable are these kinds of classes that you offer people?
Well, since everybody that comes to us is not working, we don't want people to have to pay. Even though we can and do charge tuition, the primary thing we do with everybody once we determine that they're eligible for our programs is to help them find the funding. And there are many, many ways to do that. For example, the food stamps program has an education program part of it. Mass Rehab, the veterans have programs for people returning to work. The one-stop career centers, which you may be familiar with, also provide training vouchers depending on people's eligibility for various training programs. And since we're a state-approved vendor, people can get training through the one-stop career centers.
Well, one kind of training that all kinds of people, I think, have to keep updating has to do with using computers, and I guess that's one of the things you're offering.
Absolutely. These days it's assumed that you have computer skills. So we have several programs. Would you like me to tell you about them?
Well, start with that one.
Okay. Able Beginnings is what it says it is. It's for people who may have no computer skills or they're really rusty and they need a brush up. That's a 6-week program. The next one starts on November 16th. All our classes meet at 174 Portland Street in Boston, which is near North Station. And they run from 9 to 3 every day, Monday through Friday. This one runs for 6 weeks. What the person is going to learn is Microsoft Office. And also we have a very strong component in all of our programs for job search assistance. It's really what I call a values-based self-marketing campaign. Because if you go for a job and you don't really know why, how can you convince an employer you're a good fit for it? So we really focus on that. What are the barriers facing the mature worker? How do you navigate around them? What are the companies that don't care if you have gray hair and really want to know that you can do the job for them? That's what we're really good at.
One other area you're helping with, and I know this must be a growing area, and that happens to be in medical office settings?
Yes, we have a program called Skills to Work that starts out in the first 6 weeks, and that one starts on December 14th. The first 6 weeks are a review of Microsoft Office and begin to bring the person to a higher level of expertise. After 6 weeks, the class splits. Part of it goes to medical administration because there are jobs in that field. And that is what it says it is, medical admin. 9 to 3, Monday through Thursday for 6 weeks. The other part of the class stays on in Skills to Work and will learn Microsoft Office to an advanced level if that's what they want. At the end of that, both arms of that program have a 6-week internship at a company. So it's real life experience they can put on their resumes.
And I think you have another category as well that you have.
Yes, we do. It's a program that I manage, which is called the Senior Community Service Employment Program. I call it CSEP because that's 2 syllables instead of 13. It is for people who are 55 and older. It's a Department of Labor program, and it's all over the whole country. Every state has it, and actually so do the territories. So if you move to American Samoa, you could be in CSEP.
Well, community service, what kind of things are they doing?
Well, the goal is for people 55 and older who are out of work, who meet certain income guidelines, to get into what we call an assignment, 20 hours a week, at a nonprofit or government agency, the goal being to build skills and confidence in a field that you're interested in with a commute that you can manage in order to get back to work. A typical example might be a woman who had been home, let's say she's 62, 63, she'd been home taking care of her ill parents, now she wants to get back to work. She was a secretary, her skills are really rusty, her confidence is about like that, and incidentally that's typical of all of our clients. They come in very demoralized. They're out of a job. Who thought you'd be out of a job when you were 60? So that person, let's say they live in Hopkinton, and they would like to get back into admin. And the Hopkinton Senior Center needs a receptionist. So that might be a way for that person who's feeling a little tentative to get started. They go for an interview, it looks like a fit, they're going to work 20 hours a week and receive a stipend, which is delivered from the Department of Labor through our grantee, the Executive Office of Elder Affairs, and they will work 20 hours a week and receive the prevailing minimum wage, which is currently $9 an hour, and will go up to 10 on January 1st. Then after they've settled in, and you almost can see a change, you know, they're a little afraid at the beginning, they begin to sit up and they realize that they're viable and they have something to offer and they're making connections with the people around them. Then we begin to work with them actively, update their resume, work on the job search stuff that I told you about. Find out what they really want to do and help them get into the companies that they want to work at and get jobs. So what kind of jobs? Anything.
How often do these things work out for people, you think?
Actually, that's an interesting question because the Department of Labor sets our goals usually at around 40% job placement, and we tend to vary around 65%. So 65% of the people in any given year will get jobs. And by the way, all of our programs are required to meet 70%, which is set by the state. And we do. We match that all the time. Now, for the people that don't get jobs, are we going to take them out of CSEP and say you can't do anything like that anymore? No. They can continue in the program for a maximum of 4 years. And by that time, just about everybody does get a job.
Right. That's encouraging. We should mention that if people want to find out more about anything that's starting up around the middle of November and after, what's the best way to do that?
On Wednesdays, we have an information session at 10 o'clock. You have to call to sign up for it. That is for Able Beginnings. That is for Skills to Work. We have a couple of smaller programs that are just starting out. One is in our resource room for people that just want maybe a little bit of a brush up in Excel. Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Sign up, be on time, 174 Portland Street. On Fridays, it's just for CSEP, since it's not classroom training. We ask people to come in on Fridays at 10, no need to register, but you've got to be there at 10. And then we give them more information about the program. Everybody leaves Operation Able with an appointment in their hand for a next step. And the way we work with people really is not across the table. I know how to get a job and you don't. It's really partnering side by side because we're an agency that's all run by mature workers, so we know whereof we speak.
I bet you do. Thank you very much for being with us.
You're welcome. I was happy to be here.
Provost.
Shake hands.
From Operation Able.
Thank you.
And we'll have more news in just a moment.